Moving on, we have the challenge. Is the biggest challenge between ACC and Big Ten teams in college basketball. It is the ACC-Big Ten Preview. Uh, it's going to be fun. We've got Tuesday night, and this is going to be one of the best nights of basketball forever. We've got two really fun matchups. We've got North Carolina, Iowa, Illinois, Duke. We'll discuss those two, but we've also got to predict some winners for the challenge. So let's start though with the premier matchup. We'll start with the North Carolina at Iowa. Iowa opens as 3-point favorites. The Hawkeyes, Luka Garza has been averaging like close to 30 points in the first half alone, which is impressive. He's been fantastic. Iowa looks really good, but so has North Carolina. North Carolina has looked, pretty good this season. RJ Davis has been much better than I think anyone expected. Garrison Brooks continues to look good. Armando Bacot. This is a good North Carolina team. Do they get the road win at Iowa?
I think so. They might be without Garrison Brooks, but I don't think that's that big of an issue because of the depth they have with their big men, Armando Bacot, Walker Kessler, and Day'Ron Sharpe, who will give Luka Garza a lot of problems. I feel like Garza will probably still have 20, 25, but if he does that on 50% or less shooting, then that's a win. Iowa's defense still hasn't been very good. It's 71st in KenPom, and they played nobody. So if it's 71st in KenPom now, when they face a good team like North Carolina, what's it going to look like?
Yeah, it probably won't be quite as good against North Carolina. And the thing is, it's going to depend a lot upon how North Carolina goes against Luka Garza. Can they go in and score at a high level inside? Because Luka Garza is not a great defender by any means. So that's certainly something to watch. Can they do that? And if they can, that's going to be something that I think gives them a huge advantage. So I'm definitely looking forward to this game. It should be, I'd say, probably the premier game. I will take North Carolina. I think the Tar Heels front court can give enough fits inside to Luka Garza. They know how I think Day'Ron Sharpe can defend Luka Garza really well, which is going to be obviously important. And I like this North Carolina team. I think if you're telling me right now which of the four blue bloods, Kansas, North Carolina, Duke, and Kentucky, are playing the best, I'd say North Carolina is the best of those four right now. So I'll take North Carolina to win this game and rebound after nearly winning the Maui Invitational.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, RJ Davis has been better than most people had imagined. Caleb Love has not been as good as people, including myself, have thought. But with Davis taking that big step, I think Love will be good at some point. So as a whole, I think that the game will be very close, but I think UNC is just better top to bottom.
Yeah. So we both like North Carolina in that one. Do we both like Illinois against Duke? Illinois, they didn't look great against Baylor. Kind of got blown out of the gym in the second half, but they can certainly win this game against Duke. Who do you like in this matchup?
I like Illinois. I just think Illinois is better from top to bottom. Ayo Dosunmu, Kofi Coburn, Trent Frazier, DeMonte Williams, Georgie Bashanaishvili, Adam Miller. Those are all really good players. And Duke, I think they're still trying to find their identity. It's early in the season. Can DJ Stewart rebound? Can Jalen Johnson have a good game? Matthew Hurt, Wendell Moore, how do they play? There's too many questions with Duke for me, and I think that Illinois is just a better team top to bottom.
Yeah, I'll take Illinois in this one, although I can definitely see a scenario where Duke wins. And I do really like Jalen Johnson. He's been playing really well, but I'll take Illinois. I think they have a superstar in Ayo Dosunmu. And the one thing that really killed Illinois is Baylor just was the perfect matchup for them. They had Davion Mitchell, who's probably the best, get in your face, shut you down point guard defender out there. He took Ayo Dosunmu out of what he wants to do. Kofi Coburn got played off the court because Baylor went small. And like I could see a scenario where Duke also plays Coburn out of the lineup. But at the end of the day, I like Illinois. I like Ayo to have a bounce back game, probably score northward of 20 points. I don't think Adam Miller will be as bad as he was in that the Baylor game. I like Illinois in a rebound spot here.
Yeah, for sure.
Moving on here. So we've touched on 2 games already. We're going to move on ahead. We're just going to go in order of the schedule because those are the 2 really big games. And we both got 1-1 ties. It's Purdue against Miami, Florida. Who do you like in this one? It's kind of a toss-up for me.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, they're 2 different teams, just like not even similar at all, just the way they play, the lineup construction. You look at Miami and they're guard heavy with Chris Lice, Cam McGusty, and Isaiah Wong. They have Nasir Brooks down low, who's pretty solid. But Earl Timberlake, a really good player, top 40 recruit, is out. So you look at Purdue. They struggled to beat who did they play the other day and they almost lost?
West Michigan, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Western Michigan. That's a good call. But Purdue has, they're struggling with guards right now. Eric Hunter Jr. is hurt. Sasha Stefanovic isn't a point guard. He's a shooting guard, but he's a really good shooter. Ethan Morton's been playing a lot of 1. Isaiah Thompson's been playing a lot of 1. But those guys aren't great yet. But then you look at down low, Travion Williams and 7'4" Zach Edey. Those are 2 guys that could give a big advantage to Purdue. It's super close, but I just tend to lean guard play over big play, so I'm going to go with Miami.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Miami as well. And it was Valparaiso that gave them
good call
a game, and that's at Purdue as well. You've got to travel back across the country to Miami. That's going to be tough, and then you've got a Miami team that, I think long term I would take Purdue to be a better team, but Miami right now is the better team. Chris Likes certainly looks good. Isaiah Wong has taken a huge step forward. They kind of know what they do with Nasir Brooks. Harlan Beverly's been good. Matt Cross has been good. This is, and they can bring Rodney Miller off the bench, bring Anthony Walker off the bench. That's a good combination of players that I think ultimately can get the job done against a Purdue team that at the moment just isn't that good right now.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Both teams, I don't know if either's really a tournament team right now, but this would be a big win for whoever picks it up, and I think it's going to be Miami.
Yeah, so we've been on the same page. I think we'll be on the same page here. Minnesota, the Fighting Booth Gotchas against Boston College. I'm taking Minnesota. You just can't go against Booth Gotch.
Yeah, I agree. I like what Minnesota does quite a bit. Yeah, Booth Gotch. Marcus Carr has been playing out of his mind this season. Liam Robbins has been solid. But can you guess what my biggest issue has been with Minnesota this season?
Gabe Kalsher?
No, they're not playing Isaiah Enon nearly enough. This is just upsetting. I don't understand why not.
I don't know what to tell you, but Marcus Carr's, he's averaging 26.6 assists per game. That's ridiculous.
Pretty good.
Big Ten Player of the Year type stats, right there.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Now,
Booth Gotch had 21 points against North Dakota the other day. Is Booth Gotch back?
Booth Gotch is back. So
he's shooting 56% from the field right now, and he has 15 a game, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Booth Gotch is back.
He's back. So I assume you like Minnesota in this one?
Yeah, Minnesota.
Okay. Moving forward, Ohio State will play at Notre Dame. This is Ohio State. I don't really like either of these teams, if I'm being brutally honest. Ohio State's they've not been bad per se. They've just I'm not overall impressed with their team. I think Justin Suing is, a fine player. He's looked really good. The Cal transfer. Uh, we Dwayne Washington has taken a step forward. EJ Liddell has taken a step forward. CJ Walker, I guess, is solid, but this is just a team. It just does outside of those four, there's not really that type of thing, and part of it is they're missing Seth Towns still. I've not really been impressed with Ohio State, but I'm still going to take them against Notre Dame because I think Notre Dame is bad.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like Notre Dame at all this year. Prentice Hub is super inefficient. Cormac Ryan is a good shooter only sometimes. The play down low is subpar. Juwan Durham's solid, but overall I don't love the down low play from the Fighting Irish. When you look at Ohio State, Dwayne Washington's a really good shooter. Justice Suing has been really good. I just think overall, Kyle Young too, and EJ Liddell. I think that Ohio State overall is just a better team, better coach team. Currently, I would take Chris Holtmann over Mike Bray, and I think that Ohio State's the better team in this one.
Yeah, we're both on the same page. Will we both be on the same page? Penn State, Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, the home team, they got a scare against VMI. Penn State comes in off a heartbreaking loss to Seton Hall. So, the recent trends don't add up in favor of either of these teams. But Virginia Tech did beat Villanova. Kebe Luma is looking like a potential ACC Player of the Year. He's having a big season thus far. Who do you like in this one?
I like Penn State. I know they blew the game against Seton Hall yesterday. That's a problem. But I don't think Virginia Tech is all that good. I think they're playing much better than they actually are. Myron Jones has really struggled this season. He's only shooting 28% from the field and 21% from deep. That's not going to last. So if you add what he's going to be along with what Seth Lundy's done, 22 points a game while shooting 42% from deep, that looks really good for Penn State. I think that this Penn State team is pretty good. I don't know if they're a tournament team either, but I'm just not sure that Virginia Tech is. We'll see if Cartier-Jada plays. I'm not sure if he is. He missed the game against VMI. Let's see how Jalen Cone looks. He struggled in his first couple games back. But I do think Penn State goes and upsets Virginia Tech in this contest.
I will take Virginia Tech just defending home court, which will also be our first tie in the matchups. Thus far, we've been on the same page, which has led to, let me add up. A 3-2 advantage for the Big Ten. I have it at 3-3 now, and you have it at 4-2. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So 4-2 advantage now for you having the Big Ten. I'll take a 3-3, and then we've got Syracuse versus Rutgers. Last game of the night. Syracuse has looked really good this year. Joe Girard, Buddy Boeheim are taking a step forward. The offense is just running absolutely fantastic thus far. Do you like the Orange to, pick up another big win here?
This is a dangerous game for Rutgers. I'm just not sold either way, honestly. But I'll pick one for the purposes of this recording here. I just think that Rutgers, we haven't seen them play anybody, and they're without Geo Baker. There's questions that are here, and I just don't like Paul Mulcahy's solid. Jacob Young's been really good. Can they do that against Syracuse? Syracuse hasn't looked great either. And the question is Buddy Boeheim going to be back because he was out due to contact tracing? But I do think Syracuse wins this game.
I will take the Big Ten side, which will mean a 4-3 tied. I just think Ron Harper Jr. is the best player on this court. Montez Mathis, Jacob Young have both really taken a step forward. Cliff Amore looks really good as a freshman. Paul Mulcahy has looked really good thus far, kind of taking a bigger step forward. Those are the things you really need to happen in order to be a good team. Miles Johnson can come off the bench and be good. Mawat Mog has been good. I will take Rutgers, especially defending the rack.
Yeah, if there was fans, I would probably say Rutgers, but no home court advantage really when you think about it. So I'm going to stick with my pick of the Syracuse Orange.
Moving on here, we've got Michigan NC State is called off, right?
Yep.
Okay, that means we could have a tie here.
As is Louisville, Wisconsin.
Louisville, Wisconsin also called off, which is not on my schedule. I think I took that off earlier. So,
okay.
Maryland against Clemson. This will open up Wednesday's action. I like Clemson here. I like Clemson. It's a team that I think is going to be, I think they're experienced. They play good defense. They know what they're doing. Amir Sims is going to be the best player on the court this entire game. I think Hunter Tyson has looked pretty good this year. I like Clemson to defend home court and beat Maryland.
I agree. I think Clemson's a significantly better team. Amir Sims is really good. Alamir Dawes is really good. Hunter Tyson, also a solid player. I just think top to bottom that Clemson is better. Maryland's solid too. Aaron Wiggins and Eric Ayala have looked really good. Dante Scott's look good. Hakeem Hart's look good. But, overall the depth is not good for Maryland. Shaw Mariel hasn't looked good yet. And Galen Smith has done nothing. So,
yeah, we both like Clemson here. That will tie the series up at 4 apiece. And that leaves us with 4 games left. Georgia Tech versus Nebraska. This is going to be, I think this is a Nebraska team that's much improved from last year's team, which is not really saying all that much, but I think they've been much improved. Georgia Tech coming off a letdown game. I think this is prime spot for Nebraska ball to win.
Whoa, really? Wow.
That's my pick.
I'm going with Georgia Tech. I just think that they found something against Kentucky. I think that the non-contact practices that Josh Pastner thought was a brilliant idea might be the reason they were terrible to start the season. So I'm going to go with Josh Pastner's Yellow Jackets.
All right, and that will give the ACC the lead, according to Sean.
Let's go.
Indiana versus Florida State. This is a rematch from last year's game. Indiana won that game at home. Florida State's the home team this time. I'm gonna take. I'll let you decide first. Putting the pressure
Indiana,
on.
Florida State. Florida State won it last year?
No, Indiana did.
Indiana
won
this game last year?
I think Devontae Green hit like 15 threes.
Oh, right. I remember that game. It was in Assembly Hall, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is at Florida State, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even have Florida State ranked. So I don't it's tough for me because everybody seems to be super high on Florida State and I'm just not. So I'm going to say Indiana and I just think that Trace Jackson Davis is really good. I think that Race Thompson, like we predicted, we were hyping up Race Thompson a lot this offseason. Our prediction of him breaking out has come to fruition. Rob Finnessy's looked solid. Al Durham's been pretty good. Armand Franklin's been Armand Franklin. But Christian Lander, he does some things that, he dribbles the ball and makes moves. And you're like, man, this kid looks good. And then he shoots it and it's not even close. But if he can get those to be closer, that'll be really good for Indiana in this game. But for me, you look at Florida State, I just don't love the team. Scotty Barnes has been playing point guard. He's really good, of course, at 6'9". Balsa Koprivic has been pretty good. MJ Walker has been what MJ Walker always has been. But I just don't think the Florida State team – Sardar Calhoun's pretty good too. But the Florida State team I just don't think is all that good.
Yeah, I really like either of these teams. I'll go with Florida State. I think they just find a way. Sky Barnes, I think, is the best player on the court, at least talent-wise. It'll be an interesting matchup. He'll probably defensively play against Jackson Davis, but I'll take Florida State just to defend home court and bet on MJ Walker having one of his good games.
Oh, yeah. No, I just don't see it. I don't like this Florida State team, but it could happen. Leonard Hamilton's a great head coach.
Moving on, we've got Michigan State playing at Virginia.
Stoked for this game.
This is going to be a fun one. I'm going to go with Michigan State, though, to win on the road. It's kind of a bold pick, but I'm going to make it. I think they're a better overall team, at least right now. Virginia still is struggling offensively. Sam Hauser has looked good in some games. Other games, he's not looked that good. So I'll take Michigan State to win on the road.
Yeah, I can't agree with that. I'm going with Virginia. I know they struggled against Kent State. They couldn't get a rebound. And Kihei Clark, I know some people are like, I said this is an issue, and people are like, well, he's not a scoring guard. There's a difference between not being a scoring guard and passing up wide open threes. If you're passing up wide open threes, there's clearly a problem with your confidence that, needs to be fixed. That he's hurting his team by passing up wide open shots. And sooner rather than later, they might just leave him open and say, oh, you're probably not going to take it, so might as well just leave you open. So I think that Virginia's better, but we need rebounding. We need to see rebounding and Kihei Clark taking shots that are given to him and making them. That's what we need to see from Virginia to win this game.
All right, moving on here. It is Pittsburgh versus Northwestern.
Oh boy, I'm stoked.
This is the last game on the schedule.
Is this the best game on the schedule though? Like it is, right?
No.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Give me Northwestern at home, I guess.
I mean, does it even matter? Both these teams suck. I mean, I get Northwestern.
Me picking Northwestern gives the Big Ten a win. So they win 7-5 now, according to me. So
what do I have on the other side?
You have 6-5 ACC.
I have 6-5 ACC. Okay, well, ties are fun. So I think Northwestern's better anyways. But this matchup sucks. I mean, why? They both are terrible.
Perfect matchup.
I mean, yeah, but like I almost want like can you have done like Nebraska versus Pitt or something, and then Northwestern versus Georgia Tech? I feel like that's a better game.
They could have, but I guess they didn't.
Like they're bad, and Northwestern, they have Kevin Sweeney as their radio announcer or whatnot. He's really cool, but Northwestern as a team isn't very good.
So what's the official pick here?
Northwestern.
Oh, I think you said that already. So
yeah,
you've got a 6-6 tie. I've got a 7-10 Big Ten title. We both picked Northwestern, so congratulations, Pitt. You have won the basketball game. The Big Ten-ACC Challenge. It's going to be fun. We've got some great games. We've got Georgia Tech, Nebraska, Pittsburgh, Northwestern games, and anything in between.
There's nothing like a Northwestern Pitt game. Let's get it.
Nothing like it. Same time as Michigan State, Virginia. So, and Indiana, Florida State. So
why did they have to do that? Why did they have to do that to Virginia and MSU? Obviously, nobody's going to watch the Virginia game because Northwestern and Pittsburgh are playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Ridiculous.
I can say that is exactly how it's going to go. Everyone's going to be clamoring to watch Pittsburgh versus Northwestern.
Yep.
Going to be fun. That will wrap it up. Make sure to subscribe to Making the Madness, both on YouTube and on podcasts. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Make sure to do that. And we'll be back to recap this Big Ten ACC Challenge and this big Pittsburgh Northwestern game.
Oh, yeah.